Every day, WeatherNation brings you the latest information to keep you safe. And every week, John Van Pelt helps get you prepared long before the bad weather hits. Here with our tip of the week is John Van Pelt. And John, this week we're highlighting the dangers of long-term flooding. John, we know coming in behind heat that flooding is the #2 weather-related killer in the United States. What are the different kinds of flooding that we need to be aware of?
Hey, Patrick. From flash flooding caused by thunderstorms quickly dropping several inches of rain over a small area in a short time, to tropical systems inundating areas with multiple feet of rain as they move inland, to other long-lasting rain events that cause widespread river flooding, we need to know how to deal with those different threats in different ways. Now, the first thing folks need to know is what the different kinds of flood alerts from the National Weather Service mean, starting with watches.
So when we see flood watches issued or raised for where we are, what are some things we can do to protect ourselves and our families?
It's a great question, Patrick. When we see flash flood or flood watches, it means flooding is possible in our area, and we should be ready to take action if warnings are issued. Of course, the most imminent danger is from flash floods, and a flash flood warning means it's time to take action. But flood warnings also mean it's time to take action and usually apply to bodies of water like lakes and rivers. Luckily, with flood warnings, you usually have more time to move away from the rising water than with a flash flood warning.
And John, many people might think since they haven't experienced a flood in their home that they never will. But we know that's not always true, is it?
Yeah, Patrick, that's a big misconception. In just the past few years, we've seen flooding in hundreds of thousands of homes across the country that had never flooded before, like the 2016 floods in Louisiana, Hurricane Harvey in Houston, and the most recent catastrophic flooding in Mississippi and Alabama. We need to get used to the fact that these incidents will continue to be more frequent and more dangerous, and be prepared for them. Mike Sprayberry from North Carolina Emergency Management has one of the most important tips about flooding preparedness.
Flood insurance, I think, is our first line of defense. And so what we like to tell people is that if you live somewhere where it rains, that you need to have flood insurance. And so it's for a small investment, you can really make yourself more protected against these types of events.
Of course, the key to being safer during flood events, like any other emergency, is to always be weather aware. Have a family plan. Have your emergency supplies ready all the time, have multiple ways to get warnings, and listen to your local authorities' advice and be ready to react immediately when watches and warnings are issued.
And thank you so much, John Van Pelt, for your tip of the week. And you can join us every week for a brand new tip right here on WeatherNation.